Well, as you already said, this is a huge topic. There's a lot of aspects one could focus and talk about. I think in general here as well. Next, let me focus something. Let's go back to nursing as for starting this. Like for example, of course, nursing school was separated in two parts. In the theoretical part, where we were sitting in a classroom and being educated by a teacher, and the practical part, where we would move out to the wards and work with the patients. Now, the most stuff I learned, and the most way to find my passion about the job and the work I was doing, was not achieved in the theoretical sessions. It was outside, it was on the wards, it was working with the patients. Because what I think is really important and something we should never forget is learning from experience. Experience, being involved in something, in a situation, also emotionally. This is the keystone to learning. I learned most, and this is also important here, because one could probably think that as a nurse, I go to the ward and I teach the patients about mental health and how should they behave and how they can work with their own feelings. But the most things I learned was from my patients, because learning is always a process. We should start deconstructing learning as this hierarchical process. We can always learn from each other, because every individual is special, and because you have your own, like we often think about experience, like I have to do my bachelor's degree and my master's degree, and then I have all this experience, and then I can move into it. That is not how it works. The moment you are born, the life you are living, you always have experience, the experience of your life. And now we come to empathy, as you said it. Empathy. What is the concept of empathy? I can only give empathy and react empathically if I can use my own trauma. I can only, our own trauma, our traumatizing experiences, our life stories is what is the keystone to giving empathy to people. It is the only way. I can only relate to what you're experiencing and describing by grabbing into my own big amount of feelings and experiences and getting in touch with that, and so establishing a connection here. And the thing is that I think you see teachers, they're not eager to learn something. I can understand that resistance in a certain way, because I think a lot of teachers are scared. I think we are being taught that as a teacher, or for example, also if you take another part of society, doctors, for example, you're being taught you are the teacher, you have to know. And I experienced this. If you look into classrooms, you always have this one guy sitting with you in class who is always going into a discussion with the teacher, trying who knows more, who proves more. And I know a lot of teachers who are getting anxious if they don't know something, if they're confronted with a question that they can't answer, and then they're trying to find ways or just like dodge the question or say something to just shut it down, because they're too afraid of just saying, hey, that's a good question. I don't know myself, but we could find out together. And in the moment where you're saying, let's find out together, you're moving close to the person. And in that moment, you're working with your own anxiety of not knowing everything. And this is such an important way, because by this, you can create an authentic relationship. And I also think here again, if the mentor-student process, what is really important is authenticity. Especially when you work with young adults, because young adults, they can smell it, they can feel it. We all can do that, if someone is authentic with you or not. Okay, so for example, let me give you an example here. Maybe that could help. Imagine the situation that a teacher comes into a class. He is newly assigned to the class. Now the teacher will move into the class thinking, oh, I hope this will go right. I hope they will ask questions. I hope they will like me. I don't know what is going on. How will they react to me? The students are probably sitting there, damn, the teacher's coming. The last one was kind of terrible. We had a lot of conflict. What will it be? Will he really listen to us? Will I be able to express myself? So both parties are joining the conversation with fear. Now, one approach of the teacher would be to come in there really hierarchically and saying, I'm the teacher, we're going to learn it, we're going to do that. And in that certain way, he's deflecting his own anxiety of maybe just failing, of maybe being boring, of maybe not getting in touch with them. What the teacher could do now, and what would be the approach to authenticity, would be to work with his own anxiety. And it requires courage. But imagine the teacher comes and says, hey guys, this is a new situation for me. I just got you guys newly assigned. I don't know. What did you learn the last time? What problems were there with the last teacher? Are you interested in? Is this something you want to approach? I don't know how our working together will be, but I'm here telling myself, let's do something. Let's talk about, this is my fear. Let's figure out what we can do. And in the moment the teacher does that, identification can happen, because the class can identify with fear that is also in the teacher. The anxieties meet. And by that, you can create an authentic relationship where the students say, hey, cool for saying that, because we were also kind of, scared that it just gets boring again because we just hate that part. Could we focus on another topic? But do you see what the key is here? the key is not what the teacher has learned, how he prepared or whatever. The key is he is the key. And this is what I'm trying to make to a broader concept. And this is something we are all scared. We are all scared of not knowing. We are all scared. We have this idea we need to learn certain techniques of talking, and then we can apply them. We always move something between us and the other. But the key here is to approach them. You are the instrument. You are the tool. And it means the importance of also embracing that you are someone who knows something, who is important, who has value just because of his simple existence, not because of his degrees or because of the way he looks or because you have a really cool way of talking to people. It's you as a human being have worth, and you can give something to other people if you approach them by in authenticity.